So answer me this. In those mission statements, if they're consistently taken care of, if they're consistently worked on and executed, it's going to what will come to fruition is the vision. So what is the vision specifically statement for Chorbie and for Scoop Soldiers?
You know, you actually challenged me on this one.
That's my goal with everything I do.
And I love it. That's why we're doing these.
Yeah.
As much as anything else, is to get to our team, is to talk to our team, but to also challenge ourselves. And so this challenged me because honestly, as much as I think and talk about the vision and the future, probably more often than anything else. I tend to be somebody who, a lot of people, they say, oh, don't live in the past, live in the present. I live in the future. I definitely don't live in the past. I have to work on living in the present more as opposed to living in the future. So on one hand, I'm very much so focused on the vision, the future. On the other hand, this was somewhat of a challenge. Like, okay, we've had this mission statement, and we live by that mission statement, and hopefully everybody on our team at least somewhat has it. If not known by heart, it's they know the gist. But our vision statement was a little more challenging. We didn't have one. And so through this process, you've actually helped me kind of create it. But look, our vision statement is lead the next generation of skilled trades and home service experts. And that's both internally within our current organization, our team members. That's externally going out into the skilled trades industry as a whole and being an authority in the industry. And not just myself, but our team members. Our leaders, and our future leaders. We want to be an authority in the skilled trades industry, whether it's landscaping, whether it's HVAC, whether it's plumbing, and everything in between. We want to be that authority. And then, of course, franchises. And so when I say we want to lead the next generation of skilled trades and home service experts, it's really threefold. We have a business to build, and we have team members and people to recruit into this industry and to build them up as team members. We've got future franchisees that we want to go out and help put skilled tradespeople into business. And then we also want to influence the industry as a whole, completely separate from our franchise operations and our corporate service operations. We want to influence Chuck's Plumbing or Joe's lawn mowing service. We want to influence that as well. And that is our vision.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And it's important to understand because, like I said earlier, it does help provide some context into what is my next step if I am a employee at Scoop Soldiers or at Chorbie.
We want to bring people in and build people up because the alternative is we grow to a certain point, but then there's how do you show opportunity? It's always been, and that's what I was saying with being brainwashed. I was always brainwashed that the goal as an entrepreneur is not just to provide opportunity for yourself, but to provide opportunity for, you're responsible for providing opportunity for your whole team. And if you put a ceiling on where you want your business to get to, and you get there, you reach that ceiling, the opportunity for everybody else is basically gone until some guy retires or leaves the position or something. And I don't want that. I want to be able to provide opportunity to where, we might have managers in place. They don't have to leave for this person to be able to have opportunity. That's why franchising works. That's why the spirit of educating our team, that's why all that matters so much, is so that we provide opportunity for anybody and everybody that is a part of our team.
Yeah. What a way of adding value in its truest sense.
Yeah.
It's what has attracted me to work for this company and is what is going to keep me here for a very, very long time.
That's important. That's important as a company. You know, in this world and in this marketplace, people willing to work are hard to come by. And so there's a lot of companies out there hiring, and we need to compete. This is how I believe we can compete. Talk about the vision and provide and talk about where there's opportunity for everybody.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of it to go around here. Let me tell you what.
I feel so, and I hope so, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to ask then, moving back towards the mission statement.
Yeah.
How will this mission make an impact on our customers specifically?
The easiest way to put that is through convenience. And convenience, and we haven't gotten there yet, not even close with Chorbie, but convenience through consolidation. where we consolidate the services we offer. So right now, a homeowner has lots of different vendors for that house, for all the different maintenance, whether they've got their housekeepers and their mowing crew. And then sometimes, like for instance, if you hire True Green to do your lawn care, you have to have a mowing crew and you have to have True Green doing your mowing and your mowing crew doing your mowing, and then you've got a pest control company and you've usually got a contract with them, and you've got all these, you probably have 5 to 10 different offices you have to call when you have a need. I believe that our opportunity is consolidating that and consolidating that in a way that it provides convenience to the client. It builds our reputation. We do it with a smile on our face. That builds our reputation. And then, of course, from there, you're going to have a really, really, really high-quality end-user experience. Yeah. You're going to build that reputation of being a company who truly can. You call one number, and they can do all these different things. And a lot of companies have attempted that, but it's a lot easier said than done.
Sure. Well, with consistency of action and following through, what you end up doing is building a reputation for yourself. Yeah. That is the goal, is to build, like you said earlier, be an authority in this industry and have positive influence on our, not just the people involved in the industry, meaning those skilled tradesmen, but also for our customers to be able to trust us because of the reputation we've built through a long history of adding value through convenience.
Exactly.
That's what we're trying to
do.
And
and building that presence. Every experience is a micro. Yep. Every experience is, but at the micro it matters. Every technician that's out in a neighborhood, waving like they would if they were leaving their neighborhood. Those kinds of things have a huge impact, and I know we'll talk a little bit about that here later.
And I'm excited to get to it because I think it's going to be good. Well, let's move on to a different question that I had. What kind of influence does it create in the industry? So we talked a little bit about that, but can you expand on that just a little bit?
Okay, absolutely. So at the micro level, I was just talking about this. We all have influence. Our team, every single person on our team carries influence. They carry influence, and the more they carry influence and the more influence they carry in their community, the more effect and the more positive effect, hopefully positive influence, because you can have negative influence, but the more positive influence our team has on the community in the micro, whether it's a team member who's at a football game for their kid. And obviously there's other players on that team. How that team member plays into their community, generally people know. You generally know if you've got kids and you're out on the football, you generally know what the other parents do for a living, that sort of thing. How our team members interact with their community affects and builds our brand. At that micro level, how they live out that mission in their day-to-day life and adding value comes back to us as a company, as a brand. Did I articulate
that helps.
That right?
And I think what I'm trying to get at here is that we have both inside and outside of our work, right? So when you are, so to speak, on the clock, we want to continue to add value to the industry by our actions.
Yes.
Our actions being how we say hi to people, how we educate, help, and offer. But also outside of that, you have opportunities to talk about what we do, to share about what we do, and continue to reaffirm the value that we're adding inside and out.
Yes.
You have an opportunity as an employee and as a team member at Chorbie and at Scoop Soldiers to be a part of helping build the industry.
Yes. We all have influence in our day-to-day lives. That was, I think, even though I just totally butchered that question, that's what I was getting at.
Right.
We all have influence, and your profession and what you do plays into that influence. No matter who you are, it plays into that.
Yeah. I had someone told this to me a long time ago, or phrased it to me this way: you have your vocation and you have your calling. It's very rare that you find someone who finds that the vocation and calling mix together. It's usually one way or the other, and there's not a whole lot of symmetry, and it can sometimes be confusing of how do you move forward when you are being have tension of two different opposing things of I need a job, but I also care about this. The goal that we're trying to accomplish is bridging those together.
Yes. What you just talked about is far too often. It's far too common.
Sure.
People, mentors taught me this 15 years ago. People don't really put a huge amount of thought into their profession. They kind of if you just ask anybody, you can ask, how'd you end up in that kind of, well, I had a friend and he was hiring, and so I just took the job, and fast forward 30 years, here I am. I'm an expert in this field. And it's like, man, you didn't give it much thought, did you? But but you're right. The idea is to take your gifts, your calling, your the thing that you're naturally passionate about, and that should tie into, in one form or another, your profession. And see, for me, sometimes it takes a lot. Because for me, I'm 36, and I didn't realize that I was living my calling. And I'm also a believer that goes to church every Sunday and reads and studies this stuff, and I'm almost obsessed with this. And I didn't really feel like I was living my calling until I was like 30. Well, I'm 36, so till I was probably 32. Throughout the first decade that I was in business, I was looking for something new. I was thinking, well, what is, I was thinking this was just a vehicle and then I realized, and I think this happens, is I realized, no, I'm there. I have the vehicle.
Yeah.
I just need to put a little more action in these different areas, and I need to look at it a little bit differently.
Well, that is my hope, and what is being communicated here is that both Chorbie and Scoop Soldiers are a place for our team members to do that. We have a lot that we're trying to accomplish in having influence in this industry and adding value to people's lives and their properties. And you, as a team member, have the platform to be able to do that.
Yes.
Every single day that you come to work, you can do that.
In so many different ways. It's all a matter of how you approach it. It reminds me of the book, and I think we just read it together. I'm trying to think. I forget the name of the book. Well, let's start with why. Now that I think about it.
There you go.
We were just talking about this. This book, Start With Why. I love this analogy he gave. I'm probably about to butcher it compared to how he said it, but I'm going to try. But he gave this analogy. You've got and I think I might have even said this in a previous recording, but you could have two bricklayers. And the reason I use a bricklayer type is that is the kind of job that most people would look at and say, how is that a calling? You're a bricklayer. And the analogy is I think that he used an analogy of like the bricklayers who built like the Sistine Chapel or something like that. Am I saying that right? Sistine Chapel. But you had one bricklayer who got up and came to work every day with his shoulders down, kind of like, oh, I got to put these bricks on here, and he's putting, and he's doing it. But then you had another guy who recognized his place is in the legacy of building this massive work of art. And basically, the long story short is that the gentleman who approached that job and recognized that he ended up not being a bricklayer forever. He ended up moving on to being, I don't know what exactly, but to being more of like the engineer who showed the bricklayers where to put the bricks, or whatever that is. But it's about mindset. It's about looking at your day to day and recognizing that there is legacy in that.
That is essentially what I am hoping that our listeners are picking up from this aspect of our conversation, is that you have the ability to be a part of something major.
Yes.
Because I truthfully believe that we are going to be something major. And whether you're a lawn care technician or a customer care advocate, you have the ability to elevate what is happening within these organizations.
Well, and look, I understand too, just to clarify on that, because I agree completely. Huge opportunity here. But I also am not naive enough to think that everybody's opportunity, our 100+ team members, I'm not naive enough to believe that every single 100+ team member, that their opportunity and their sole future and their vision and their skill are going to stop here.
Right.
In a lot of cases, and probably more cases than not, we're just we're a stepping stone for their future. But the key is and what I want to make sure we do and what we do different is no matter what, we always approach it from the newest person, whether it's the newest pet waste technician or whether it's the newest lawn care technician or whether it's one of our whether it's a manager that we hire from outside for any reason. I want to make sure that while you're here, you're not just you're not just passively letting the days pass for your paycheck on Friday. Yes, there's a huge element of that. Yes, that is needed. Right. But I want to challenge your mind, no matter where you're at. I want to challenge your mind as long as you're going to work here. I believe that's part of what I'm called to do in so many ways is challenge your mind, challenge your mindsets to be better.
Yeah.
And to be better. And again, and I hope that's here, and I hope you grow here and grow with us. But I also recognize that a lot of people are going to grow here a little bit, and then they're going to move on to a new opportunity. But I hope we have that positive effect. I hope, going back to our mission statement for our clients, I hope we've added value to that team member.
Absolutely, man. That's good stuff.